Hello, I'd like to thank you for joining me for this intermediate forward folding yoga experience. So, first we'll go into a uh, bound angle, and we're going to tilt our upper body forward and grasp onto our toes, maybe turn our feet outward. And we're just going to hold and evenly breathe outward and inward. And you can feel free to hold this pose for as long as necessary. Pause the video if you'd like. It is a great hip opener, and you may feel it in the groin area or even in the low back as we fold forward. I like to hold the pose for 4 to 5 minutes, maybe swaying alternately back and forth between an upright position and a small fold towards the feet. If you're more advanced, you can bring the arms under, keep the bound angle in a diamond shape, and fold towards a turtle pose. And again, this will help open up the low back even further. You want the neck upright, and you can have your shoulders a bit hunched over. Don't worry, that's natural because your shoulders are downward on the ground. But we don't want the spine to round too much. Just a slight rounding of the spine while in turtle. Smoky. And when we exit out of bound angle, diamond, and turtle, we can then go into a double pigeon or a fire log pose or square pose, whatever you call it. And we'll pick the leg that we're more flexible with to begin with on top. For me, that is my left hip and my left leg. So I place that leg on top of the right one. And we are going to fold towards the knee that is on top of the other leg. And we're going to feel a stretch in the side of our lower back. And we can just hug our knee. Maybe place our forehead on our knee. And we're going to hold here for a minute or two. You may feel the left hip open up and the right hip open up, and the small right side of the lower back open up as well. We can place one hand on our thigh over here. We need to lean ourselves into the stretch, but most importantly, we need to focus on our breathing. Evenly, deeply, and steadily breathe inward and outward for counts of 4, 6, or 8. When we feel comfortable enough, we can rise up again to our standing position, our upward position, and we can forward fold down towards the middle and between both of our feet. We can do this by placing our hands behind us or interlacing them in front of us and relaxing onto them, relaxing our forehead onto them. Again, we will steady our breathing. If you want to get a deeper stretch, we can also always keep our hands behind us and lightly tilt our body forward. As we breathe inward and outward, we want our spine to not round while in this forward fold double pigeon. We come up, breathing outward. We can then go towards our right knee, and in this case, my right knee, or our opposite knee, is on the bottom of the ground, on the ground. So we're going to go towards our side that is on the ground, and we're going to hug our knee again. Breathing, opening up the lower back, the sides of the lower back. We should be able to find a comfort zone here. If you need to, you can place the hands across the foot and the thigh and just kind of rest on your hands if you can't quite get down to your knee. And once again, we can place our opposite hand on our opposite thigh and push ourselves toward the knee ever so gently, as long as we're maintaining our proper breathing. Then we will not have to worry about overstretching. Now we can go into an easy pose, placing the opposite leg on top of the leg that we started with. And this time we are going to go once again towards our knee that is on top. For me, that is my right knee. So we will begin by stretching the left side of the lower back once again. And you can also place your hand across your shin, your other arm, grabbing your elbow, and you can relax on your hands here if you need to. Or your hand and your wrist, whatever's comfortable to you. From here, we will go into a forward fold again, placing our hands behind us, gently tilting the body forward. Folding, folding, opening up the head. Small round of the back, not of the spine. You'll definitely feel it in the lower back. Keeping our hands behind us, we can help align and keep our back straight easier. If we place our arms out in front of us, we can also tilt the neck downward, and then you will feel round in the spine, and that's okay. That's where you're at. Now we will go to the opposite side where our foot is on top and our knee is on bottom. Breathing outward, we will go into the stretch. For me, this is my more difficult side, so I might place my hands here. Rest my forehead on my hands. Rising upward again, keeping the back straight, arms off to the side. We can inhale, exhale. We just did a lot of folding of our lower back, so I would ask you to get out of a forward fold into an easy pose, and taking the right leg, stepping it outward, turning towards tabletop. We are going to go to an upward dog. Inhaling, exhaling. This is our contraindication pose. Because of all the forward folding, we want to counter it by practicing a pose that bends the spine in the opposite direction. Head up towards the sky, neck up, elbows semi-locked. Deep inhale, slow exhale. We can come up and go into a quick child's pose. Inhale, exhale back into a upward dog. We want our shoulders leveled and even with our upper body. We don't want them all the way out here because we will put pressure on the lower back that way. We want it about shoulder length apart and directly underneath our chest. Come back to tabletop. I'd like to thank you for joining me for some intermediate forward folding, and I will see you all later.